Not just talking, top rope walking, ultimate exit, serious flexing. Never be vague with your boy Craig. And opinion mixing from Pete to Nixon. Keep doing things in an impactful way. Bloody nonsense, as the Brits say. Talking bloody nonsense.
Yes, it's me. It's the MIC Craig, aka Mr. Impact. Finally back once again with the one and only Peter Nixon. This is Talking Bloody Nonsense right here on the TNA AW channel. It's a new week, it's a new Impact, but first things first. Nixon, how's it going?
Yeah, all good here. Thanks, Craig. Not really much to report. Can't wait to talk about the multiverse.
Oh yeah,
it was a shame that we couldn't do last week because would have been a great, topic. But we're back. Let's get to it. Let's talk about it. Got lots to say.
Yeah, it's usually the way with when we record though. It's nothing the day we record, but the week after, day after, everything.
Yeah.
Impact. It's never a dull moment, but only when we're not recording.
Yeah.
But we are, and there's a lot going on with Impact. So I guess we'll jump straight into it and we'll chat about the two newest signings to Impact Wrestling in Dirty Dango and Steph De Lander. I want to get your thoughts on the signings. Obviously, both Dango, most people will be familiar with it for being Fandango, yeah, and Steph De Lander. A few may know the name. I knew the name, but I hadn't seen anything of her. So I want to let's get your take on the two new signings. What can you see? Obviously, Steph De Lander made a debut on last week's Impact in a match against Jordan Grace. Dango's been in and out and now has signed a contract. Making other signings, what can you see happening with these signings? Where do you think they can go? How they fit into Impact? We'll start with Steph De Lander because that's the least familiar one.
Pardon me. I'm not really familiar with Steph De Lander. I hadn't seen her work on NXT. Was she Persia Pirotta?
Yeah, I think that was the name. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I hadn't seen her work. She had a good match this last week against Jordan Grace. It's cool to see another new female in the midst of the division, and someone with some size, someone that doesn't look like all the other cookie cutter women that you see on WWE or used to see on WWE, because they've changed their ways as well.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what she brings to the table. Has she actually signed a contract?
It seems that way. I haven't been on Twitter in a good few weeks, so I don't know. No, but given the way they introduced her and built her up, I think she got a promo in her first match and got to face Jordan Grace. I think it's safe to say there's some investment in this.
It's definitely a good sign, isn't it? Definitely a sign that they've got confidence, and that she wasn't just fed to Jordan Grace; she got offense in.
Yeah,
that's a good sign. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Steph De Lander. But yeah, it's cool to see another non-American or Canadian.
Yeah, it's
the international star.
Steph De Lander is probably the fourth Australian female Impact's ever had, probably all together. But yeah, I mean, I didn't know much about her. I started watching NXT, but this is long after she got let go. I liked what I saw from a match against Jordan Grace. So, like I said, not the cookie cutter female coming in. She's got something. Seems to a decent promo as well at the start, which I quite enjoyed. And when she got that, he kind of felt like I didn't want to see her lose too badly, and I think it happened the right way. She looked really strong, and maybe next match I think she will win. But given that's Jordan Grace, Jordan needs a win, go and knock after the title again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought very good signing, a very good match. Hopefully, a very good signing because the Impact. We've said it loads of times on here. They seem to have a knack of finding someone that other companies don't see a lot in and making them something.
Yeah, and then they go back to the place they got fired from.
Yeah, that seems to be the way. But for however long Steph De Lander's here for, it could be completely different. But Impact, they know what they're doing with the Knockouts division. It's the best division in wrestling. I'm excited to see because I wasn't familiar with that. She had left NXT before I'd even started watching it again. I think I'm not even sure she got much TV time when she was there. Maybe a couple of matches on Level Up, and that's about it.
Right.
I can't be sure, but I should have checked her cage match, but missed out on that one. So all in all, I'm looking forward to what she can do. Now, Dirty Dango. Happy with the signing? Where can you see this one heading? Were you surprised that Impact have given a deal? Because I remember from remembering a few months ago, it was a few years ago, a year or so ago, Dango was almost on the verge of retiring because he didn't think he'd get signed again. So what do you make of Impact signing Dirty Dango?
When you think about it, I don't think it's a surprise. One, because he was a very popular WWE superstar.
Very.
When you think back to when his entrance theme made it into the top 10 in the UK, and there were football grounds playing it before the matches, and then how popular Breezango were as a team. He was very, very popular, Fandango.
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me that Impact want him, and it doesn't surprise me that Dango would sign with Impact, because realistically, he's not going to go back to WWE. Probably not, anyway. I can't see AEW being interested. He's probably not going to go to Japan or Mexico. It's bad. It sounds bad when I say this, but where else is he going to go?
Yeah.
He fits in Impact.
Yeah, he does.
I think he can be a cool little comedy, not quite throwback or a nostalgia act, because he's still somewhat relevant, but a recognizable character like Heath. I would put those two as a tag team, because their comedy timings are so good. Have them be a comedic duo backstage and be a good little worker tag team, babyface team. You could do a lot with Dango and Heath. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me that Dango was signed, and I'm fine with it. It's not, we haven't signed Kenny Omega, we haven't signed Will Ospreay, but yeah, it's cool. I'm into it. If they can bring in Tyler Breeze as well, reform Breezango, even better. If Breeze isn't up for it, then yeah, I'd put him in tag team with Heath.
Yeah, I'm with you in the sense that it's a good signing for Impact, and it's not exactly a breaking the bank signing, but it's a solid fit into what Impact are capable of doing. We've already seen it with his things backstage with the director of Authority, Santino Marella. That works very well. He keeps mentioning that he's been on the Force. So again, throwing back, people will know, people who have followed WWE for years, because it is a lot of casuals who follow WWE. They'll know the face, they'll know the act, because it's still quite similar, even though it's obviously not Fandango, but it's still you know who it is, you know what he can do. And also, Dirty Dango, for my money, was very underrated as a wrestler. He can go in the ring. Yeah, probably not world championship material, but very solid fit into what Impact can provide and the way he works. I'm here for it because we've seen him a few times pop up in Bound for Glory on the kickoff Bound for Glory in the DMC match, a very, very good match. And you said it several times with Heath and Rhino, those guys being on the pre-show, on the kickoff show. It's the recognizable face to get people to be invested in potentially purchase the pay-per-view, and Dango is another one of those faces. It's again like everything when Impact sign anyone who I mean, even if they showed up and did a session at the Performance Center, they go, "Oh, WWE reject," which is a stupid remark.
Mm-hmm.
But we're getting that again, but it means nothing because Dango knows how to get over. It comes naturally to him, it seems. I mean, it's one of these signings, like I said, not going to break the bank, but can be a great fit. And I want to see Dango in Swinger's Dungeon.
Yeah,
I think that would be excellent because I don't think he's crossed paths with Swinger before, but that's before he signed, and obviously now he's with Santino. Because we all know Impact can do comedy well. They do everything well.
Yeah.
They don't pigeonhole themselves into doing one or another thing. They pretty much have creative people in all their departments. So I'm excited to see what Dango can bring because he's a very underrated wrestler and someone who can fit Impact style well.
Yeah.
Same hopefully with Steph De Lander. She seems to have a bit more about her. So again, it's all about seeing where everything goes. But I'm excited for it. It should be two great new signings. And now we're going to move on to wish list signings for the director of Authority, Santino Marella. A recent interview said that he would like to see JTG and PJ Black in Impact Wrestling. Obviously, PJ Black, former King of the Mountain champion, and was there recently for the X Division number one contenders tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Very good wrestler. So I want to. Can you see these two potential signings happening? Is it something you want to see, or are you just in the middle? Like, if you come, if you don't. What is what it is? Where do you stand on JTG and PJ Black?
I can definitely see them being signed. I think it's more than likely if Santino wants them and D'Amour's interested, and if they're available and if they're up for it as well.
Yeah.
Then of course it could definitely happen. I haven't seen JTG wrestle since Crime Time. So I don't know what he has to offer, honestly. Not to say that he can't still go, but I haven't seen him, so I can't comment. PJ Black had some good matches in that X Division tournament. I'd be happy for him to be signed.
Yeah.
And if JTG can show his worth, then great, come aboard.
Yeah.
But if they're not signed, it's no big loss, is it?
No.
You could say that about anyone on the roster, really. Though, if they're here, great. If they go, see you later. We've got other people. I mean, there's only a few people on the roster that I would actively miss. And that's not a shot at the roster by any stretch. I mean, of course, if just a name out of my head, if Rosemary left, I'd miss her because she's a big part of the television show.
Yeah.
But the TV show wouldn't suffer if Rosemary wasn't on it. That's what I mean when I say I wouldn't be offended if PJ Black and JTG didn't sign, because we wouldn't miss them.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I do like JTG. I haven't seen full matches, but I've seen clips doing rounds on social media. He seems to have bulked up a lot, and still has a similar style from what I've seen. Again, I can't. The only thing of Crime Time I can pick out in my head was where they, along with Cena, vandalized JBL's limo. That's the thing. When I think of Crime Time, I can't remember many matches. I mean, heck, it's getting in the way. But yeah, I agree. It's one of those where if they come, let's go. Let's show what you can do. But if they don't, okay.
Yeah.
It's not like Impact or wrestling in general is short of talented wrestlers. I mean, there's plenty they can sign. So I'm not. It's not a. I wouldn't consider it a snub if they said no. But I think if there's genuine interest, I can see it happening. For JTG, maybe a couple of appearances in the Coil Shot Gauntlet. I think that will get a nice pop.
Yeah.
But besides that, I wouldn't know. But as far as PJ Black goes, I would happily take him back. I mean, he's never really been a main fixture in Impact. A couple of months at a time. So the GFW invasion, that angle, and then obviously coming in and having those great matches against Yuya, I believe.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who. No,
he lost to Black Taurus, didn't he?
Yeah, he beat Yuya and lost back to Taurus. Then in semi-final, yeah. So yeah, I'll PJ Black wants to come in. Let's go. Let's see what you can do. Well, we know what we can do. JTG will be the one where let's see what he can provide. I think he's worked a lot for House of Glory, which I know Impact are good partners with. But I think he was the House of Glory World Champion at one point before losing to Jacob Fatu. I think he lost to Fatu, but after doing research on that one, it seems like I know you have seen him on a few posters for House of Glory. So if they want to come in, let's go. Yeah. More people on that roster, more great matches to be had. But yeah, it's fine. I've got a little bit of time quickly. Well, in that same interview with Santino, mentioned that he wants to pay tribute to his run with Beth Phoenix by doing a similar one with Jordan Grace. Is that something you want to see? You
can't recreate that. I'm sure Jordan would be great in that role, but leave it be. You don't need to. Yeah. You don't need to do it again.
No.
If you're going to do it with Beth Phoenix.
Yeah.
You don't need to do it with. Jordan Grace is Jordan Grace. She doesn't need to imitate anyone.
No. But I just found it an interesting comment that you want to try that with Jordan. Like, I agree. Keep it with Beth Phoenix.
But I would imagine he said that tongue in cheek.
Yeah,
maybe. You can there are comparisons to be made there, Beth Phoenix and Jordan Grace. But yeah, that even if he was joking, no, don't do that. you don't need to. Jordan Grace, you do not need to do that.
No. By the way, what a match that would be as well. Beth Phoenix and Jordan Grace.
Oh yeah.
What a match that would be. I would happily to see it, but obviously Beth's a little preoccupied with Rhea Ripley at the minute and slamming Dominic.
Yeah. Are they doing that at the pay-per-view this weekend?
Yeah, Chamber, Dominic. I believe it's Dominic and Rhea against Edge and Beth.
Okay. that's shaping up to be quite a good little pay-per-view.
It is.
I want to see
interesting.
Roman and Sammy.
Yeah, it's shaping up well.
The slightest, the tiniest part of me that thinks Sami Zayn might win the world title.
If they split them up, yes, absolutely, I can see it happening. But if it's for both, if Undisputed Universal title, whatever it's called, no, it's not going to happen, unfortunately.
No. And the smart money is for Cody to wrestle Roman for the titles in the main event of night 2 of WrestleMania, and for the main event of night 1 to be the Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the tag titles, and then you can do the title switch there and let Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have their big moment together as WrestleMania main eventers.
Yeah, because I don't think they've ever had a Mania moment. I don't think Jericho and Owens was supposed to be the main event of whatever, a 32, 33. Yeah, whatever it was. But it got moved to the opener. I don't think they've had a proper Mania moment. They faced Bryan and Shane at Mania in a tag match back in. So it'd be cool to see that. But wait and see. But keep back on the track to Impact news. Another little tangent there for you. We just get some t-shirts made up with tangents on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it seems to happen. But yeah, on that, we'll go on to some pretty big news for Impact in New Japan. Mania week, it kind of kept it on the tracks there. It's still in Mania week. The Multiverse United Impact Wrestling versus New Japan. There was announced. First 2 matches been announced. The first one was Beeble Mike Bailey versus Will Ospreay, which is holy moly. And then second match was Josh Alexander versus Kushida. Again, jeez. I cannot. How excited I am for that. It's going to be incredible. But in the press release, Impact and New Japan revealed that this won't be the last time Impact and New Japan collaborate and, do more shows together. Obviously, AEW and New Japan have the Forbidden Door show. Fine. When Impact were announced for it, I didn't feel like a snub. No. It was what it was. They want to do that. It's fine. Impact and New Japan can do their own thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm excited for it. But yeah, there's more to come. And the rumors are that Impact Plus may start showing strong. I know they do cross promoters occasionally, but mainly with New Japan putting their New Japan stars on the Impact shows on New Japan World. But so first of all, what was your reaction to Multiverse United being announced and the 2 matches, and also what would you like to see from this relationship, and what do you think will happen from this more collaborative relationship between Impact and New Japan?
I was very excited when it was announced that they'd be doing a joint show on WrestleMania weekend. I thought that was perfect because they did the multiverse of matches last year, and New Japan did a separate show. I think it was called Lone Star Shootout.
Yeah,
which I never got around to watching, but I'm sure it was very good. It makes sense for them to do a joint show. You've got all the, I don't know who's going to be there, but you've got all these people who will be available for this show, and the dream matches that you can put on are limitless.
Yeah.
So I think it's absolutely fantastic news. It annoyed me when the show was announced that Wrestle Talk got a hold of it and said, yeah, New Japan are doing another collaboration show, WrestleMania weekend, with Impact Wrestling. I thought, why do that?
That's what they do.
It wound me up. Yeah, cool. Impact have fallen from grace. TNA was up here. Impact is trying to get back there, but you're not doing wrestling any favors by saying Impact Wrestling.
Yeah.
It fucks, honestly.
Yeah, it's no. But that's the thing. I don't want to go off on a big rant about other wrestling YouTube channels, because we get it. It's difficult to do what you do. But when you're Wrestle Talk or Cultaholic or whoever, when you start shitting on promotion, that people listen to that. People listen to that and assume they're right and won't check a company out because of that.
Yeah.
Especially, but with Wrestle Talk, I mean, okay, they made that little reaction to Impact Wrestling, but where the first episode on Access TV, when Sami Callihan won the Impact World Championship, and obviously that got leaked, they asked the person who took the video where they could use that video on their channel to get the views.
Mm.
And Impact UK's PR team, the press team, asked them not to do it. On social media, they asked them not to do it, but they didn't listen. But they would happily get the views when it suits them. It's the case with, for me, a lot of these YouTube channels. I've seen Cultaholic do it before, and he claims he seems to be watching it more on a regular basis now. But yeah, I think the only one who is fair to Impact is What Culture,
right?
But they've taken a bit of a dip now. Summer Miller seems to be a big Impact guy, and again, people listen to Summer Miller because he's very good at what he does. So it's all, for me, it's a bit annoying, but on some levels we've got to be slightly used to it because it happens too many times. But anyway,
I know we've gone off on another tangent. It just wound me up because Wrestle Talk used to cover the TNA with the Impact pay-per-views. I remember the last one they did was Homecoming, and you remember Homecoming? Great pay-per-view.
Fantastic.
I think it was January 2019, I want to say. And Luke Owen gave it a thumbs in the middle. I thought, you fucking dickhead. Why? The show was amazing.
Yeah. I think from what it is really frustrating. I think the main issue what people seem to have with it is the production values of it and the setup and all that. But end of the day, they're not. Access and Anthem have money, but if they're not getting the revenue back for Impact, which if they're getting in terms of viewership on Access, they're not. But these shows, they're selling out more frequently. The Chicago Pass released a few weeks ago, I believe now sold out.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's all the seats for Bound for Glory sold out, or whether it's just a select few.
I would imagine they've designated a certain amount for the season pass.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have sold all the tickets to Bound for Glory already.
No. But those have all sold out to all those shows. Like, I think it's 2 set of tapings and Bound for Glory.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if I could get to Chicago, I'd have got one of those tickets. Like, not even a doubt in my mind.
Cicero Stadium is a big venue as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Redemption? Not Redemption.
It was Emergence.
Yeah. The because that's Bandito and Ray Horace. Yeah.
And Garrows.
Never allowed.
Doc Garrows chokeslammed PCO off the breacher, and he just you never saw the table. He just went down into whatever.
And you heard like a car crash. Awesome. Yeah, incredible. So with all that, it's really daft. I remember my first exposure to What Culture. This is how long ago it was. They reacted to the final deletion, and they hated it. It was before, obviously, it was 2 years before Cultaholic, so it was Pacitti, Ross, Jack, and V Blomp here as well. They were reacting to it and they hated it. But it's because people go into, I find like people go into Impact stuff already disliking it, and if it's finding a slight thing wrong, they'll say it's bad or not. But anywho, this is
whilst we're still on this very, very long tangent, I can remember when the Final Deletion first aired. Do you know Marty DeRosa? He's Colt Cabana's mate.
Yes.
The comedian, US comedian.
Yeah.
And big wrestling fan. He wanted to do a reaction video with Colt. So Marty had seen Final Deletion. He wanted to do a reaction video with Colt, who was watching it for the first time. He wanted to get Colt's reaction because he thought, oh, he's gonna laugh, he's gonna shit all over it. And Colt was watching. I was like, no, this is brilliant. And Marty was like, you what? And that seemed like the turning point because people were shitting on it. People thought it was stupid.
Yeah, they were.
But when you look at it as tongue-in-cheek, you're not meant to take it seriously. Just take it what it is. It's a bit of fun. It's Matt Hardy being Matt Hardy, being creative, and obviously we know how creative Jeff is.
Yeah.
When people started realizing, actually, no, this is actually brilliant.
Yeah. We will get back onto New Japan stuff, but as we went on Final Deletion very quickly, I mean, it was who was it? I saw an interview. It was a clip and of Talkish Jericho, and Jericho's podcast. He said whilst the WWE guys were on tour, they had that on a laptop in Gorilla whilst the guys were, I think they were in Germany, and they all come when someone finished their match, they went back and they watched it, and it was on throughout the entire show. Like that says something about that show, surely, that WWE were watching it. Like I mean, I know Matt Hardy came back a few years later, but he wasn't then. He wasn't going back then. It was he only just started then, and look what went on to become. It crossed over into 4 promotions.
Yeah,
like that's. But anywho, now we'll go back onto the Japan stuff because it's great news. So as far as when it was announced, obviously you sent me the screenshot. I was buzzing, especially when I saw Speedball versus Ospreay announced. I mean,
I said in the TNA IW group chat, it's my match of the year. I've already decided. It's going to be a match of the year.
Yeah, it's. I mean, obviously it can, but it's almost impossible for this one to be bad. Yeah, because these two are so good.
And Ospreay is. We know they have good chemistry. They've wrestled in the UK. Yeah,
it's going to be incredible. And finally, Ospreay is part of an Impact. Even if it's New Japan, is the Impact logo is on the same poster as Will Ospreay. So, I know we wait and see for a long time. Yeah. Hopefully, more comes of this. And it's going to be great.
Sorry to cut you off, Craig. We had Ospreay before in TNA, before he made a big name of himself in Japan, before he became arguably the best wrestler in the world. He was in TNA with Jimmy Havoc and Big Damo on the UK shows. So he's no stranger to TNA / Impact Wrestling, and he's been very vocal in the past that Impact Wrestling is. I don't know if he used these words, but he said it's the promotion people need to be checking out because they're doing consistently good shows.
Yeah, he has. He's praised Impact a lot. When Aussie Open came in, he was again obviously part of the United Empire. That isn't it, United Empire. There we go. Yeah, around that line. Yeah, very vocal about that. He liked the partnership of Yuya and Delirious. remember seeing a comment on that. So it's great that Ospreay can be part of an Impact co-booked Impact show again, and also Kushida versus Josh is going to be fantastic. If the pay-per-view was just these two matches alone, I'd buy it anyway.
Yeah,
it's going to be can't miss. In the final 10, we'll get into what we think the rest of the card will look like, but so touched on it there with Aussie Open. Before we move on, Carl Davis sent out a tweet basically saying that Aussie Open aren't signed, have no contracts, and haven't been booked as a tag team in months. Do you think what do you think is going on there? Because obviously they lost the strong tag titles. Do you think is it someone? If it's true, should it be someone Impact should be looking into?
100%. So what is it? Just Mark Davis that isn't signed, or both of them?
I think from what I seen the reports on it from different news sites. I haven't read the exact tweet, or maybe it was an Instagram post, but it was along the lines of Kai and I haven't been booked as a tag team in months, and insinuating that they don't have a contract anywhere.
Right.
But Carl Davis I think Carl has had a few appearances, but not as a tag team, just a few singles matches, and again. Dunkzilla he hasn't really been booked elsewhere either.
Okay, yeah, it's definitely someone. If he's on the market, then Impact should be going for him 100%.
Yeah, it'd be insane not to.
And
also, I think we've got here's New Japan still. We've got to talk about Jay White. Lost to Hikuleo in a loser leaves New Japan match. A shoot. If it is a shoot, where do you think he goes? Because I know a lot of people saying he'll come to Impact. I'm not totally convinced, but where do you stand on this Jay White thing? It was reported that he's heading to WWE, but finishing off his dates in New Japan. What's your take on Jay White?
if it's a shoot, he'll go to WWE. I think it's a work.
Right. Yeah.
He's done this before. He did it, I think, last year or the year before.
His contract pretty much runs up at the weeks before the Rumble every year.
Yeah.
So he's definitely done it before, but I've got a feeling he's going to the WWE. But again, do you think Jay White is a big enough name to come out straight into the main roster to the mainstream audience of wrestling?
Oh, that is tough. That is a tough question. You know, when WWE brought AJ Styles in, he had that notoriety, but it wasn't from New Japan.
No. People
knew him from TNA.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm bullshitting you.
Can't. Yeah. People, they knew the name AJ Styles because WWE been wanting to sign him for years.
Yeah.
So
AJ Styles had been around the block. He built TNA. He'd been in Ring of Honor. He'd done New Japan. He was an established name. Jay White is a big star in Japan, and a very small portion of the American market and the worldwide market will be very excited for Jay White to come to WWE. But the casual fan will have no idea who Jay White is.
Nah, and that's a sad thing because he's one of the best right now.
Mm-hmm. Very
sad thing. I do think he's heading to WWE. I do, but to have him, it feels like I'm making a dig at NXT here. I'm not. It's to have him go to NXT feels like for him maybe not that he's too good for it. It's he should be in stadiums and getting that massive pop, but do the mainstream audience know him?
So what if I'm WWE and I'm bringing in Jay White, I don't just debut him out of nowhere. I don't bring him in as a surprise. I build him up with vignettes. Try and get some New Japan footage. I think that they've got a little bit of a relationship now. If you can get a little bit of footage from Jay White in the Tokyo Dome, wrestling people that WWE fans might recognize, like AJ Styles, then you build him up over 3, 4, 6 weeks, then bring him out the night after WrestleMania, the Raw after WrestleMania, when the wrestling fans from all over the world are all there and will know who Jay White is. That's when you debut him.
See, I literally just thought an argument that can be made is the Go Brothers, when they came in, people may have known Doc Gallows, but I don't think anyone knew Carl Anderson at that point.
Nope.
But that was a good reaction for the Go Brothers. So, there is that argument, and we don't know whether the avid weekly WWE fan, because on social media you can pretty much keep track of anyone and what they're doing in their career. But obviously, like with any fandom, there are some negative fans in the WWE universe who only watch WWE and will block out anything that's not WWE.
Yeah,
it's going to be an interesting situation. I do think he's done with New Japan, and if he is going to WWE, make the most of it, because you're getting Jay White at the best he's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
Make the most of it.
Yeah.
But I guess I have to wait and see. I do hope Impact, if it is true, I hope Impact have at least contacted him and say, "Come and do a bit here. Come and do a bit here."
Guarantee Demora's been on the phone.
Yeah.
Even if he has a one taping stopover, does a few matches with Ace and Bay, as a trio.
Yeah, just do a bit here, because it's going to be a great one. But
speaking of Ace and Bay as a trio,
great minds. Yeah, No Surrender. Yeah, No Surrender. Coming the 24th, 25th. It's Time Machine back once again as a unit against the Bullet Club, Ace and Bay, and Kenta is coming to Impact Wrestling. Fucking finally. Kenta's coming, and the team with Ace and Bay. What a match it's going to be. Jeez. What? Yeah, your reaction to when Bay announced that Kenta's coming to No Surrender to take on Time Machine. I can't even. What was your reaction?
Hot dang. So I wasn't. I usually try and stay up and watch Impact as it airs. If not, I watch it the next morning. So last week I couldn't stay up. I was knackered. So I watched it the next morning. But I looked at the TNAIW group chat first, which is a mistake.
Yeah.
There's all this chat about Kenta, and I was like, "You fucking what? Kenta's coming to Impact." And yeah, I think it's so cool that he's coming for No Surrender for the Las Vegas tapings. And hopefully we can use him. I'm sure he'll be on the Multiverse.
Must be
Multiverse United. Is that what the show's called?
Yeah, Multiverse United.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be so fucking good to see him.
Yeah.
And
but yeah, first time wrestling in Impact / TNA. I was first exposed to Kenta in Ring of Honor when he had those great matches with Bryan Danielson and Low Key, Nigel McGuinness, people like that, Davey Richards.
Oh, see, for me, Kenta, it was NXT, WWE, and see, it's funny because when WWE first announced, like, what's his name in WWE now?
Hideo Itami.
Hideo Itami. When Hideo Itami's coming to WWE, it was in a group chat. I said, I reckon it'll last about 4 years, but they'll do nothing with him, and dead on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's such a shame because people knew what he was capable of.
Yeah.
Now he's come to Impact as Kenta, as part of the Bullet Club, team with Ace and Bay, who have just started kicking up momentum as a tag team.
Mm-hmm.
To have Kenta come in and team with them, it feels proper. It doesn't feel like. It feels like, but Bullet Club's coming to help out Bullet Club, not. I remember Bullet Club's coming to help out some guys over in a promotion.
Yeah.
Bullet Club and Bullet Club. So it's going to be great. But again, just quickly before we move on to the final 10, not Bullet Club, not New Japan related, but a tag team did show up on Impact last week, going after the Knockouts Tag Team Championships. Hex, Mighty Bell, Sienna, Alison Kay, whatever her name is right now. My instant reaction was, for Mighty Bell, cool. Sienna, meh. But I understand the Hex have been doing good things on the independents and in the NWA, but I'm not massively hyped for it. It's good that it's a legit tag team coming into face with titles. You know, people have been wanting it for ages. I was fortunate to interview Rosemary last year. Yeah, last year. And she said that she wanted the Hex to come to Impact. And so it's obviously something they've wanted. But I'm not first. It doesn't feel massive to me. What was your reaction to the Hex coming in?
I was the other way around when you said Marty Bell, great, Sienna meh, or Alison Kay. I was the other way around. I think Alison Kay is very, very good. I think Marty Bell is okay. But you're right, they're a legit tag team being brought in as a tag team in a division which has historically lacked tag teams. So yeah, I'm definitely in favor of it. Weird that they put them with the Sinister Minister.
Yeah.
James Mitchell.
Don't know where that one's going.
Yeah. Maybe he was just introducing them and the partnership will be dropped. But they've already been announced as the challengers for Death Dolls at No Surrender. And I'm sure the match will be good. If Hex don't win the tag titles, they're kind of dead on their feet. I think they have to win, otherwise they're not being brought in long term.
No, I'm with you on that. It's as far as the James Mitchell thing goes, I hope this leads to us seeing Rosemary's father. If I'm remembering, I believe that Kevin Sullivan.
Yeah,
played
the devil himself.
Yeah. It's if he wants to come in, fine. Have you seen a bit more of it? Because I'm with you, but it's for me, it's the confusing part is the Hex was put on Rosemary, but it's Taya and Jessica to defend the titles.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing there? Is Rosemary injured or something? That's surely Rosemary should be in that match, but
well, she wrestled on Impact last week, so I don't think she's hurt.
It's a confusing one for me, but it's good. I do think the Hex are going to win. So we'll do our predictions.
Next week.
Next week, we'll do our predictions next week, and we'll see where it go on that one. But now we're going to go on to the final 10 for the first time on time in a few weeks, and we're gonna see first. We're going to talk about Multiverse United with the New Japan Impact Wrestling. We've all discussed the first 2 matches. Now we're going to try and fill the rest of the card. So on these shows, there's usually 7 matches.
Yeah.
So 2's been announced. We could pick out 5 more. The Impact World Champion has already got a match, so we can move that to the side. And I think we've already got the feature match. So from Impact, So we need five more. So 5 more competitors for Impact to get 5 more competitors from New Japan. Obviously, there can be tags, and now with the IWGP Women's Championship, you can also throw in a women's match, which is, I mean, I think depends what happens at Battle in the Valley.
Mm-hmm.
It could be the one we talked about a couple weeks ago with Mercedes and Mickey. That would be my pick if they can pull this off.
I'm 100% in agreement.
Yeah, Mercedes and Mickey, it seems to be the. Obviously, we talked about it in depth a couple weeks ago, so we can kind of move on from that one. But yeah, I think that's the way to go if Mercedes is the IWGP Women's Champion. So next up, I think we've got to put the X Division champion there. Who do you put him against? I've already when Impact and New Japan started working together again, I made up some fantasy cards for something exactly like this, and people laughed at this match, by the way, but it could very well happen now. I went with Trey Miguel versus Ishimori. I would love to see that match.
I think that would be fantastic, but I don't think that's the way they'll go because they're both villains.
Yeah.
Who's the junior heavyweight champion? Is it Hiromu Takahashi?
Sounds right. I'll get the New Japan champions up.
Well, regardless, I'm going to say Trey Miguel and Hiromu Takahashi.
That would be, again, as from both rosters, there's no real bad match to choose from. I mean, the champions up. Current champions we have. Yeah, it's Takahashi's junior. Yeah, it's
because you can have champion versus champion with no titles on the line, just pride.
Yeah.
And then if Hiromu beats Trey, it's because he's a dickhead heel. He lost to someone who's becoming a legend in Japan. And if Trey cheats to beat Hiromu, it's a big boost for Trey, but Hiromu doesn't lose anything. So I think that would probably be the way to go.
Yeah. So I do really want to see Trey versus Ishimori, but like I said, both technically villains, even though Ishimori's Bullet Club and they're kind of tweeners. Yeah, I've actually got to go for the roster just to figure this one out.
Whilst you're thinking about that, Craig, I propose to you a tag team match player. The Impact World Tag Team Champions, the Motor City Machine Guns, versus I think they're the IWGP Tag Team Champions, Fishimon.
Oh, if you're correct, it should be Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto.
I think that'd be fantastic.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm again going through all now, and it's so many to choose from. Just quickly, do you think we'll see the United States champion on this show?
I don't think we do, I'm afraid.
No, I have to agree.
I'm
sorry
to report.
Yeah, no, it isn't gonna happen. But so I'm going for this. For my tag team match, I'll take the Machine Guns against the junior tag team champions in the United Empire, JTG and Francesco Akira. I think that's my match. I think it would be no bad matches on this card. If I keep dropping, when do you come back in? Let's see what happens here. There we go.
Are you still there?
Yeah, back in the game.
This was you. That's how you froze.
Typical. But as I was saying, yeah, Machine Guns versus the junior tag team champions and
Yeah.
TGP and Akira from the United Empire. That's my match. But there's no bad matches on here.
No.
So we've got the tag match sorted. We've got the women's match. We've got the first two matches. We've got the X Division junior heavyweight match sorted.
I think you can do more with the X Division junior heavyweight division. I would do a 6-man shootout with members of the X Division and the junior heavyweight division, where you could put people like Shota Umino and Taiji Ishimori, with Yuya Uemura as well.
Yeah.
In there with Black Taurus. Struggling to think who's X Division is on the roster. I'm drawing a blank here.
We've got Steve
Kenny King, yeah.
I'm a match I'm trying to think of like an opponent that can go match for match, toe to toe, and hold for hold with Zack Sabre Jr. There's a few to choose from. I'm trying to pick one out of the brain from Impact side.
I've got it. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Frankie Kazarian.
Oh, yes, that's the one. Yeah, that is the one.
I think that'd be amazing.
Yeah, can't put that. Mention the X Division junior heavyweight. Oh, I would add one more person into that. It's Gabriel Kidd.
Oh yeah,
I like Gabriel Kidd a lot. I know he's had his struggles, but he's a very, very good wrestler.
Yeah,
fantastic wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Okada. Do you think we see Okada on this one?
I don't know. I'd love to see Okada, especially considering how dirty he was done in TNA back in the day.
Yeah,
to see his sort of redemption in Impact Wrestling. And there's one opponent that comes to mind straight away when I think of Okada.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering if we're on the same wavelength.
I haven't got one. I'm trying to think of someone to go against Okada. I can't be Josh. I'm trying to just pick one out of the old brain there. I'm gonna have to open the Impact roster. I should know it off by heart by now, but it's there are so many incredible people. And
well, if I'm booking Kazuchika Okada on the Impact versus New Japan show in 2023, I'm putting him in there with Moose.
Yeah, I think that's the one. You know, I'm looking through this. Yeah, I'm with you. So that's 5 matches booked.
Yeah, in addition to the 2 matches already announced.
Yeah, I just want to throw one more in there. Match I really want to see. I've wanted to see for a while. I don't know. I really want to see it, but I don't know how well it would work in other people's eyes. I'd like to see Suzuki back against Sami Callihan. It's similar, but also very different styles.
Yeah.
they beat the living hell out of each other, that's for sure. But it's a match that really intrigues me, that one.
Yeah.
I want to see it, but it's all whether it could work.
I'm with you there. I'd like to see that, and I'd like to see Suzuki versus PCO. There's so many names on the Impact roster that we've left out, and we've got a card essentially.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's only so much you can do in terms of women's matches because of New Japan's lack of female wrestlers. But you've got that marquee match, so I don't think it really is. You can put an Impact versus Impact match in there. But
even so, with the champion versus champion match, because I assume it will be Mercedes against Mickey. That's the direction I think should go in for the championship match. As a secondary women's match on that card, which could main event anywhere for me. Kairi versus Deonna Purrazzo.
Oh, that'd be so good.
It'd be just incredible.
If we keep going on like this, if you try and include all the top Impact talent, like Steve Macklin, we haven't even mentioned him.
No.
You're going to have a 15-match card. If you're going to have to leave people off, or do loads and loads of multi-person matches.
It's just going to... but in terms of Macklin, for me, it's Ishii.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That would be really cool. I'd like to see that.
I said I was trying to pick up someone for Zack Sabre Jr. Jonathan Gresham. Yeah, Gresham. I can't believe I knew I had to look at the roster. I knew I had to look at the roster. I can't believe I didn't think of him straight away. But
wow, how good would that be?
It's incredible. There's so many.
I hope. I'm sure they must have wrestled before. I bet somewhere like PWG or somewhere they must have wrestled before.
Yeah, Rev Pro Progress, something like that. It must have had to have crossed paths. But
I'd like to see it. I'm going to jump on YouTube in a bit and see if they have.
Yeah, that's one. I mean, right now, both where they are, both right now, it's so many. I'm so excited for the show. It's going to be a belter. And on that, we'll wrap it up for this week. Of course, check us out here, there, everywhere. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, and wherever else you podcast. Go check out TBN chats with the likes of Lizzie Evo to Charlie Morgan, Simon Hill, the late great Len Davies, and so many more. Power rankings, extended show, longer show with brand new co-host, the godfather of the power rankings, Lucha, still with Zatia, but why not go check out some old episodes of Alabama Train, some fun stuff. We mentioned the final deletion, total deletion stuff. They reviewed it. Go check that out, as well as other stuff like Cookie Gate and all that crazy stuff. And the video game Gimmick Battle Royal. Go check all that stuff out. Any more plugs? Shout out Frank Fiat for the belter of a theme song, which my nephew is still loving, by the way. Quick on my nephew, I told him that you're a wrestler and he wants to wrestle you.
Okay.
Yeah. He keeps telling me to tell you he wants to wrestle.
It's on.
But yeah, some else, in other words. It's gone. Never mind. Have anything to say before we go?
Don't think so. I think you've covered everything there, Craig.
There we have it then. I've been the MIC. This has been Nixon. Until next time, goodbye, my friends.